Hi everyone, it's Michael, and it is time for the October 2018 Orchid Collection update. Let's just jump in. So as I mentioned last month, I've really hit my threshold with using tap water to flush these plants. I know it's not super destructive to them, but it's also not really helping them. So I finally made the appointment. I had somebody come in, check out our water system, got a quote, and they are coming to install reverse osmosis at the beginning of next month. So I'm really thrilled about that. It's gonna make my life so much easier instead of having to cart distilled water everywhere, and just feel a greater peace of mind about how I'm taking care of my plants. So I think that's gonna be a big game changer. Now, I'm continuing to flush 1 to 2 times a month, depending on the plant type. So again, if it's a terrestrial and requires a little bit more flushing and it doesn't like stagnant water, I will do it more often. So my Paphiopedilums, my Frags, my Spathioglottis. Now I am beginning to transition some of my plants to their dormancy behaviors because again, we're right at that cutoff point. You know how they always say Halloween to Valentine's Day, stop watering? Now it's not quite exactly like that because my plants are, I don't know, they're somewhere in between. They're not quite ready for a full dormancy. My Catasetums have grown so significantly this year, which you'll see in just a bit, but I think that they're gonna flower. So before I cut off water altogether, I really wanna facilitate that process. So I am transitioning them to just having distilled water as opposed to nutrient solution, which is a form of dormancy. But I will later facilitate the no water portion when they are actually done blooming. So the other thing is I'm doing that with my Dendrobiums as well. So now they're just getting plain distilled water and eventually I'm gonna taper off into no water, probably mid-November. If you want, I'll go ahead and attach the video I did about how I transition my plants to winter dormancy below. Now without further lead-in, let's go ahead and look at the plants that something new, interesting, and different is happening with this month.
All right guys, here we are. So these are actually all of the plants we're gonna talk through today. Once again, I'm only going to showcase the plants with which something interesting or new is happening. So let's just go ahead and jump in. So we'll start with number 8. This is my Mystic Maze Banfieldara. And the only thing I really wanted to showcase on this guy is look how quickly this brand new pseudobulb has matured. It's peeking through the new growth. It came up so quickly. So I actually think that I'm gonna be seeing a flower spike coming off of this guy very soon, which is wonderful because I feel like it just bloomed for me. I will link that bloom profile below so you can see exactly what it'll look like. Now we can jump from number 8 to number 9. Now, this is the Keiki that I took from my mom's Phalaenopsis. It has been very up and very down. But the cool thing about this guy is it is finally starting to branch off in its roots in the container. Prior to that, it was just putting out a bunch of aerial roots, which now seem to be kind of subsiding and giving way to roots in the medium, which is fantastic. Now it's also putting out a new leaf for me, which I'm really pleased about. So that's good news. Now we'll jump to number 16. This is my Catasetum Dapper Dots Nicolasa Tavares hybrid, and just look how swollen these bulbs are. So this is really beautiful. I feel like for the first time in my orchid growing life, I am actually understanding how to care for Catasetums, which is evident. I mean, like, look at the difference between my last year's growth and these ones. It's just insanity. So this one is actually kind of transitioning itself out of its lush foliage. It's dropping these leaves slowly but surely. And then I believe that the flower spike will come shortly thereafter. So I'm just eagerly anticipating that moment because I've never seen this plant in bloom. Even when I bought it, I don't know what it actually looks like. So it's gonna be really interesting. Now we're gonna jump from 16 all the way to 25. This is my Epidendrum Green Hornet. Now this one just stopped blooming today. It was in bloom for almost 3 full months. And I'm not even sure if I should list it as being out of bloom because I don't know if you can even tell, but inside of there, it is putting out another flower spike. So it's producing flower spikes right now. And beyond that, look at this new growth that came up while it's been blooming. It just like accelerated super fast and grew. So I think I'll be enjoying blooms on this one for a very long time. So that is number 25. We'll go to number 26. This is my Allosaurus Teller. This was the subject of my most recent bloom profile video, which I will link below. But it's going strong. Its blooms are absolutely gorgeous. Just so stunning. It's interesting because I had a few comments talking about like, how would this look if it was judged in a competition and the flowers are too close together. And I don't know, it's interesting when it comes to personal growing, it's really for my own satisfaction. So I guess I had never really considered even evaluating my plants from a perspective of like, oh, if I were to compete with this, would it win? So I don't mind that they're too close together. I don't mind that it is not a show plant. I just love how gorgeous it is and how happy it makes me. But it's good to know. I mean, I never really thought about competing with orchids, so now I know I'm not prepared for that. So we'll jump from number 26 to number 28. Now you guys all know and love number 28. I'll link its bloom profile below. This is the one that just continues to kill the game and give me growth after growth after growth. It just stopped blooming recently, but I'm fairly certain it's about to start blooming again because I just wanted to show you all of the new growths it has coming out every which way. So I can't even like rummage through all of the plant matter so you can see, but there is one stunning new growth down there. There is another one coming in right up top here. I don't even know if you guys can see it. There's just a little baby coming through there. There's another one coming in right through here. This guy just refuses to be contained in any way, shape, or form. So there's actually a total of 8 new growths on the way. They are so deeply packed on the inside of this that you can't see them. But this one is just, I mean, this will be blooming for me again shortly. So that is wonderful. Now we're gonna jump from 28 all the way up to number 34. This is my Ludicea discolor, and this one is just like on the strangest, most beautiful path. Look at it, you guys. It's got one new growth there, it's got another one coming out there, another one coming out there, and then whoop, right down there as well. I swear this plant did nothing for me for so long. It didn't even root. And now it's just like throwing down roots, it's living its best life. And it's even put out a bunch of new growths within the container. So it's got one there, it's got one there. I kind of like, originally I felt a really irrational pressure to get this repotted into a bigger system, but I'm kind of just enjoying watching it make this work. Because again, we forget that orchids are so adaptable and that it's just doing its thing right now, so I kind of don't want to disrupt it. So that's number 34. Now let's go over to number 36. You guys, this is such a victory for me. This was a gift from one of my best friends, Aria, for my 30th birthday. And obviously all of the old pseudobulbs rotted away on this Catasetum. This is my SVO Black Pearl, Fred Clarkiara. And this was the only one that survived. And look how small the previous growth was. Look at this beast. You guys, it's even bigger, thicker, and now it's almost taller than even my Nicolasa Tavares Dapper Dots Catasetum. So it's getting awful close to getting bigger than that. And it's again, such a victory because I don't think I really fully understood how to grow these for so long, but now this one is just doing phenomenally well, and that's a big win. Now again, this is being transitioned to plain distilled water, so hopefully this will be giving me a flower spike soon. Now we'll move all the way over to number 49. This is my Miltoniopsis Burtfield Eileen. And as I mentioned with my In Loving Memory video of my Nellie Eiler, this one is just struggling. It's not getting low enough temperatures to be doing really well. Each of the new growths it's attempted to put out has rotted in some way, shape, or form. So I'm not sure what will become of this. I'm actually surprised that the pseudobulbs aren't super desiccated because it's been going like this for a long time. So maybe I'm just misunderstanding, but I mean, it does continue to drop leaf after leaf. So I'm not really sure what will become of this guy. Now we're gonna jump from number 49 to number 52. This is my Renanthera calsum, and I think the most interesting thing about this guy is it's actually following a very similar template to my Ascocenda. It's just throwing out aerial roots like nobody's business. I haven't really seen any new growth within the container to really speak of or celebrate. So I don't know if it doesn't like the container. There's a strong possibility it doesn't, but I'm gonna continue to monitor it and watch it. But it has given me one new leaf here, which is the last new growth, and then it's giving me another new leaf. So it's not doing terrible. I'm just not quite sure what's happening with this guy. So I'm just gonna continue to watch and see how it goes. It is Vandaceous, which, you know, I don't have a lot of great insight about, just to be perfectly honest with you. So we'll see how this goes. Now on to number 53. This is my Volcano Prince Laleo Cattleya, and it seems to be transitioning just fine. The pseudobulbs on it are getting just slightly desiccated, which is to be expected when it first transitions to semi-hydroponics. You can see its old root system is beginning to rot away, but as I've mentioned 1,000,001 times, that's pretty standard. So I'm just curious to see when this will hit a stride. I can't wait for it to start putting down a new root system, but hopefully this one will do just really well. And last but not least, the newest addition to the family. This is number 54 in the collection, and this is my Dendrobium Hibiki. And I don't know if this one likes it so much, you guys. This one is like, it's yellowing, it's gonna start dropping leaves. But again, it's to be expected. You can see that the old roots are rotting away. But even as that's happening, I think this one will be fine because look at all those beautiful green root tips that are beginning to venture down towards the medium. So as soon as the rot and decay subside from the old root system that doesn't work anymore, I think it will do really well as it grows into this new environment. It's just kind of, it always gives me just a little bit of a twinge to watch it adapt because it's like, oh no, you're not doing well, it's all my fault. But who knows? You never actually know how these things will resolve, but I think everything should be Okay, so that's pretty much it, you guys. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me. If you have any questions, concerns, or feedback, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. Don't forget to click subscribe and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye, guys.